Hey, what is going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to do a general loadout guide for Fortnite OG Reloaded. Instead of focusing on a specific weapon class and saying what shotgun you should carry, what AR, what sniper, which I will do if you guys are interested, the point of this is to say how many weapons should you carry, how many heals should you have, and how many mobility items should you have. Because I think it's very different than, historical chapter 1 or chapter 5 or YAT maps, as the game mode is a lot different. It's a lot faster paced, the map is smaller, there's respawning constantly. I think it's just a very different meta, and we'll go over that today. Let's start out with your weapons. As traditionally, I have said you should always carry between 2 and 4 weapons. But really in Fortnite OG Reloaded, I'd say I would narrow that down between 2 and 3. The reason why is because mobility and heals are very important, as we'll cover later. And I would also say that some weapon classes are overall fairly weak. Starting out with your most important weapon, your shotgun, you must carry a shotgun. There are certain metas that have happened in the past where you could get away with running only SMGs, like the drum gun meta or the tech SMG meta, but right now that doesn't exist. You have to run a shotgun. There's definitely multiple options. You can try out the different shotguns, see what you like, but you need to be carrying a shotgun at all times. I'd also say an AR is essentially recommended. Yes, there are very specific type of players that could probably do shotgun only, like the very best. But I'd say for the vast majority of you, you need an AR. There's no SMG that could replace an AR or anything like that. There's 4 options with the standard, heavy, infantry, and hammer. All of them seem at least usable. Which one you carry is up to you, but point is, you need to be running at least some form of an AR realistically in this mode. Now, SMGs, I'd overall say SMGs aren't required, but honestly, I'd say they're, in general, I would almost not recommend you carry SMGs because I think SMGs are overall pretty weak. The standard SMG, the lower variants are not very good compared to actual Chapter 1. The TAC SMG is totally pointless. There's just not a lot of great SMG options. If you find a good one, you can run it, but I generally say don't plan on using SMGs all the time. If you desperately need a secondary, consider running a standard AR as your SMG, as that may often actually work better. And what that does is that will help you free up more slots for mobility and heals, which I think are very important to have. Snipers, I definitely think snipers are definitely decent. If you want to run a sniper, totally reasonable to do so. For me, the way I play, I don't have good enough sniper aim to justify replacing heals or mobility. But if you have really good sniper aim, definitely consider running it. It's totally fine. In terms of structure destroyers, minigun doesn't exist, but there is the RPG. But honestly, whenever I find a green RPG, I'm honestly not taking it. It does not enough damage with a very slow reload. I believe it's over 4 seconds. I just don't find it impactful enough to be worth replacing heals and mobility. But if you find something decent, you can totally take it. Okay, so as you can see there, weapons, realistically, there's 2 mandatory categories and 3 optional ones. I'd really say take those 2 mandatory categories, the shotgun and AR for sure. And then you can, if you want, pick up to 1 of the optional categories. This will leave you with 2 to 3 slots to distribute between heals and mobility. Let's talk about heals next. Traditionally, I would say you would want to carry between 1 and 3 heals. With Fortnite OG Reloaded, I would say in most cases, it's going to be between 2 is probably recommended, but in certain loadouts, 1 can also work. Without health siphon, you're going to naturally take damage in your engagements. And because you're not getting that back, and there's constant engagements, having extra heals is really going to help you. Because when you just need ways to be able to heal back up to continue the fight and continue engaging. You can't necessarily rely on trying to go loot after your fight. If you think about when the game is slow and like bigger maps, you might win your fight. Sure, you're low, but you can go loot up. That might be difficult to do. If you don't have a lot of mobility, good luck trying to loot up. Someone is going to find you because there's just so many people on the map. So 3 heals, I would honestly think 3 heals is less useful because I would recommend running at least 1 mobility item or another gun. You can run 3 heals. It's something you can do, but as we'll talk about in the mobility section, I think mobility is going to be more useful than running triple heals. So finally, for mobility items, traditionally I've said between 0 and 2 mobility items is recommended. In this mode, I'd really say try and pick up at least 1 mobility. Because there's no vehicles in this mode, the only way to get around quickly is with the grapplers, shockwaves, bounce pads. I think those are really important. I'd really say try and carry at least 1. It will really help you in being able to escape, catch up to your enemies. People are running away all the time. Being able to catch up to them is very important. Reposition. I think mobility is very useful because you don't have planes, quad crashers, anything, right? You can even run double mobility. You know, what I like to do a lot of times is run double mobility because it gives you a lot of flexibility to be able to escape, and especially if you're at a numbers disadvantage in engagements, you can, you know, use mobility to get into the fight, do some damage, try and get as much damage as you can, and then use mobility to escape. You know, it opens up a lot of opportunities, and I think carrying 1 to 2 is really going to be where it's at. So just to summarize now, I really say weapons, I would recommend 2 to 3 weapons. Heals, I would say 1 to 2. Mobility, I'd really say 1 to 2 mobility items. You know, I think that's going to be, in general, the best place to be at. You can, of course, mix around, try it out, but, you know, I think that's going to be overall a good place to start if you're struggling with how to organize your inventory. And with that, I hope this helps you, and I'll catch you in the next video.